this section is about equations, but it's as simple as equations can get. We're not going to focus on actually solving an equation where we have to get a variable by itself, but we will look at a couple of those today. We're going to focus on those later in a different section. Today, the focus is the variable is already by itself, and that's what your homework is going to look like. So again, I did throw in a couple of harder examples, but the harder examples won't be on your homework, and we'll get to it in a later section. The main focus today is knowing what an equation is compared to an expression. So the first blank is going to be expression. An expression is something that does not have an equal sign. So it's just a bunch of numbers, variables might be included, but we are not going to see an equal sign. In this case, we will just be simplifying whatever the expression is. Next is equation. An equation does have an equal sign. So in the word equation we see equa. Equa means equal, so that's where we get the equal sign. And last is solution. Solution is just the answer to an equation. So it's pretty much your answer to an equation. And we'll talk about solutions more, especially when we get to graphing. But for now, just know it's the answer to an equation. So this first example, number 1, is most like what you're going to see on the homework, which is just solving one side of the equation, and then the other side already has the variable by itself. So we're just doing order of operations on the left, so that tells me to do parentheses first, and within that parentheses I'm going to do my exponents. So I have 3 plus 4 times 2 cubed is 8, minus 2 equals b. And I messed that line up. Okay. And I still have these parentheses, so I'm going to do 8 minus 2 is 6. Now, I still have parentheses, but this set of parentheses is just telling me that the 6 is getting multiplied by the 4. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. 4 times 6 is 24. And 3 plus 24 is 27. So b equals 27. So that is the solution. Numbers 2 and 3, the variables are not by itself. So they are trickier, but again, these parts we're going to talk about in a later section. I just wanted to go over it a little bit before we got there. So I'm going to start by simplifying as much as I can. So I'm going to do my parentheses to get 4 plus 3 squared is 9 plus 7 divided by n equals 8. And then I'm going to go ahead and do 9 plus 7 is 16. Now, I prefer to write 16 divided by n as 16 over n. If you don't need to see it that way, then you don't need to rewrite it. It's just how I like to see it. So here I have a two-step equation, which you should have learned last year. So I just wanted to touch on it a little bit before we got to our actual section in our notes. But we need to get the variable by itself. So what we're going to do is get rid of this 4 first. Since that's a positive 4, I'm going to subtract 4 on both sides to get rid of it. So now I have 16 over n equals 8 minus 4 is 4. Now we would normally get the variable by itself, but if we look at this, we can think 16 divided by what is equal to 4. And we know that 16 divided by 4 equals 4, so n is going to equal 4. And again, if you need more time with this, please do not worry, because we are going to spend a whole day on just this. It's not our focus for today. Number 3, we're going to start by doing the distributive property, so parentheses come first. So we get 4y plus 4 equals 40. And again, I can see my variable is not by itself, so I need to get the variable by itself. So instead of plus 4 right here, I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. We're going to get 4y, this cancels, equals 40 minus 4 is 36. And I still need to get rid of this 4, so since that's 4 times y, I'm going to do the opposite and divide both sides by 4. So these 4's cancel to be left with y equals 9. Oops. So again, if you need more time with that, please do not worry. Your focus today is number one, making sure you know what an equation is and that you can do order of operations on one side of an equation. If you have any questions about your homework, please email me.